Hello and welcome to Knife Chats, a channel where we discuss the history of cutlery as well as offer reviews on affordably priced knives for the user and collector alike. Without further ado, let's see what today's video is about. So a day or so ago I was watching one of Mr. Sharp's videos. It was on his Barlow knife that he got. It was by Boker. Really nice single blade Barlow. And if you haven't watched Mr. Sharp, I strongly advise you to go over there and take a look at his YouTube channel. He has some great videos, especially if you're a Swiss Army knife fanatic like me. You definitely need to check out Mr. Sharp. He's just a wonderful, wonderful YouTube channel. But in any case, at the end of this Barlow video that he did, he asked the viewer what was their favorite Barlow, and so this video is in response to Mr. Sharp's question. And I actually got a couple that kind of fall into the favorite, and so I'm going to rank them 3, 2, and 1 with an honorable mention also. My third favorite is this one by Marbles, which is in their Wildlife series with the raccoons on the white smooth bone. So you got a pair of trash pandas, I think, chasing down a lizard, and then in front of that you have a piece of stag, and then your typical Barlow bolster up there on the top. This is a Granddaddy Barlow. It's 5 inches long, closed, with a wonderful 4-inch clip blade. And if we can get it to show there, you'll see the you get to see me and everything else, but right there I think you can kind of see it, the Marbles blade etch on there, Marbles quality knife, and you see the nice swedge on the top of this blade and everything. Really nicely made Granddaddy Barlow by Marbles. If you're not familiar, this is made in China, 440 stainless steel blade. It's one of the Smoky Mountain Knife Works house brands, and they do a really good job with the Marbles name now. As you can tell, the blade has a half stop and a really nice snap to it, and this blade is really super tight in there. And you know, it's really you know, you could obviously have it as a really good user, make a good bird and trout knife, or a nice little folding hunter in a slimline pattern. So if anyone says that a Barlow is not useful, they just haven't looked at the Granddaddy Barlows, and this is just a fantastic knife for the for camping. Next up is my Boy Scouts of America Barlow. This one was by Baron's Son, and it's a 2-blade Barlow. The front blade is the secondary blade, which is your typical pin blade that you'll find on a Barlow, with a nice long pull. Satin finish on the blade. I believe they're 440 stainless. And the secondary blade, if you notice also, nice half stop on these. You'll see the we can get it to show there. Again, nice shiny bolsters. Bear MGC USA. These knives came out around 2007, 2008. It was right after Camillus closed its doors, and Baron's Son picked up the Boy Scouts of America license. There you see the nice blade edge on there. Official knife, Boy Scouts of America. And you've got these Packawood handles, which are dyed in red, orange, and green, I guess. It's supposed to be red, white, and blue, but never quite worked that way. Still, really nice looking knife. Really nice snap on those blades. Blades also, a little bit of wiggle, but not too much. And you see here your stainless steel springs and brass liners. Really nice finish. The pins are nice and smooth, and like I said, good snap on the blades and everything. Didn't mention it before, the Marbles also has brass liners and a nice stainless steel back spring. Now, my favorite, my number one Barlow, is this one here. My IKC or I Knife Collector um, group Barlow belonged to a web group called I Knife Collector. Really good group of folks over there. Very friendly, kind of like a Blade Forum, but with a family focus and a lot of fun people there. And the this is made by Queen Cutlery, and your basic standard Barlow, about 3.5 inches closed, just like the Boy Scouts of America one was. And you got these wonderful orange, it's called burnt orange smooth bone scales on it, and they just look fantastic. Brass pins to holding it in place, and smooth as can be. The transition between bolster and bone is just fantastic. You've got your stainless steel back springs and liners. Wonderful, beautiful little bolster up there. But what's really fantastic about this knife is the blade choices. Front blade here is a Spearmaster blade, 2.5 inches long, so the standard length for a Barlow knife, but you don't see Spearmasters too often on them. And so that's really cool. And as you notice, the half stop, and then it opens all the way. You'll see here the tank stamp for Queen, and also, if you can see here, the deep etching on that IFC bolster, IKC. Really nice and deep in there. It's not going anywhere. And then the secondary blade, also totally awesome, a Wharncliffe blade. And these were a special order just for the club, and so it's really cool. And you got that Wharncliffe blade, a nice Spearmaster, just a fantastic looking Barlow. You don't really see them made like this. And like I said, it was a special order just for I Knife Collector, so hard not to pick something up that's just beautiful. They also made them in ebony wood handles too. I ended up grabbing the orange smooth bone. And my honorable mention is probably the cheapest one I got, and that's because I'm not even sure if it's truly a Barlow, but this is a Rough Riders Pattern 087 lockback. It's got the Barlow type bolster and almost a Barlow type handle, and a really interesting blade. And what's really cool is you can actually just pinch that blade. Well, usually you can pinch that blade and flip it open with one hand, but look, if you can see here, look at how clean that lock is. I mean, it really just snaps right in place, and it almost becomes invisible right there where the back lock hits there, and it closes up. I'm going to try and flip it open again one-handed. There we go. And look at the lines on that thing. Is that not a pretty knife? And can you imagine, when I bought this thing, I don't think they make it anymore, $7. Just a fantastic knife. I mean, that thing is like razor sharp even today. I added the little bail on the end. I mean, it just had a hole for a lanyard hole there. But really nice lines, really get up on that blade and cut with it and everything. And about the same length as a regular Barlow. So those are my knives. Those are my favorite Barlows. Number 3, the Granddaddy Barlow by Marbles in the Outdoor Series. Number 2, Boy Scouts of America Barlow by Bear & Son. And the number 1, my IKC club knife by Queen Cutlery. And how can you not love that wonderful Spearmaster and that terrific looking Wharncliffe blade? So there you have it, my 3 Barlows. Thanks for watching. Just a quick slideshow giving the stats on those 4 knives I showed, starting with the honorable mention Barlow, the RR078 modified Barlow lockback. This is by Rough Rider. It's made in China. The closed length was 3 7/8 inches with a 2 3/4 inch modified clip blade. The stainless steel is 440A. It's got a burl wood handle, and the bolster was brushed stainless steel. Same with the springs, pins, and spacers. The number 3 Barlow was my Marvel's Wildlife Series Barlow. It's a Granddaddy Barlow. It was also made in China. The closed length is 5 inches with a 4-inch clip blade, and the blade steel on this is also 440A. The handle material is white bone and stag with nickel silver bolsters. Springs are stainless steel, and brass pins and spacers. Number 2 Barlow was my Boy Scouts of America Barlow by Barron's Son. It is a standard Barlow that is made in the United States. The closed length is 3.5 inches, which is what a standard Barlow typically is. The main blade is 2 5/8 inch clip with a secondary 2-inch pin. The blade steel is 440A stainless steel, and the handle material is a laminated wood. The bolsters are brushed stainless steel. The springs are stainless steel with pins and spacers made of brass. The shield on it is also nickel silver. And my number 1 was the IKC Club Barlow, and that is a standard Barlow also made in the U.S. By Queen Cutlery. Its closed length was 3.5 inches. The main blade a 2 5/8 inch spear blade. Secondary blade is a 2-inch Wharncliffe. Blade steel is D2 semi-stainless, and the handle was a burnt orange smooth bone. The bolster, I believe, is actually nickel silver. The springs were stainless steel. The pins and spacers are, the pins are brass and the spacers are stainless steel. Hope that helps. Again, those are my 3 favorite Barlows, plus an honorable mention. And once again, I'd like to thank Mr. Sharp. If you haven't gone to Mr. Sharp's YouTube channel, you really should. He's a great guy, and he has lots of great knife videos out there for you. Thanks for posing the question, Mr. Sharp, and I hope you like my answer. Thanks for visiting. If you like this video, please share it with a friend and consider subscribing to Knife Chats. To be notified of future episodes, don't forget to ring that bell. As always, your comments are welcome and insults are cheerfully ignored. Remember, you're only as sharp as your knife.